Hi guys, hi friends. Welcome back to Shiko Hope TV USA. My name is Shiko Hope, and this is where we say inawezekana. We give you hope. We tell you never give up, never lose hope, always keep hope alive. And today, I would like to welcome you to this channel. If you are new here, welcome to this channel. This is where you belong. Comment below. Let me know that you are new, and I will definitely heart your comment. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. This is your home, and this is where you belong. Comment below and let us interact in the comment section. Guys, today we are so lucky we have a guest. We have a guest in the house. She is here to share with us about her journey to America and how she made it to come to America. And here, let me take this opportunity to welcome our guest so she can tell us more about herself and how she found herself in America. And here she is. Hello, hello.
Hello, Shiko. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much, Lillian, for coming. We're so blessed to have you today.
Thank you.
Now, we have talked earlier, and you told me, Shiko, I have a different story. Now, can you share with us who is Lillian and how did you find yourself in America?
Okay, Lillian and Amai is a daughter, and I have how many? 6 siblings. I was born and raised in Kenya. I currently live in the U.S., currently in Kentucky. I am married to one man. I have 2 beautiful girls. I am a family nurse practitioner practicing currently in the state of Kentucky. I have a Bright World Ministry. That's just a religious organization that I feed the homeless downtown Louisville, Kentucky. And I'm also the one who's currently running the Facebook page, Wa Kenya Tuna Sauti, just to enlighten the Kenyans, some civic education on the people of Kenya. So that's in a nutshell who Lillian is.
Wow, wow, wow. I love your introduction. You so many parts, so many people in one.
Yes, Shiko, yeah.
And I love that. Now, Lillian, can you tell us how did you find yourself in America? Which visa did you use, or were you born here?
No, you can tell from my accent. I was born in Kenya. I was born and raised in Kenya. I finished high school in Kenya, and then just like most of the Kenyans, after high school, in Kenya, there's the lucky ones who will make it to the university, but a big bunch of Kenyans, they won't make it to university because of the cutoff. And again, in Kenya, they have very few universities. So the thing is, if you've not made it to the Kenyan university, it doesn't mean that you are not a smart kid. It doesn't mean that, you cannot pursue college education. But it's just like the country, they don't have enough universities. So I wasn't lucky to go to any public university at that time. And I started college in Kenya. I was doing accounting at KCA at that time. And then in 2002, that's when I tried and applied a student visa to come here. And that was in Florida. I applied and I was lucky to get the visa. Actually, they gave me a scholarship. It was I came as a student on a student visa. I got a scholarship. And it was a full scholarship. It covered my full tuition, full accommodation, even books. So I was lucky.
Wow, you were lucky and blessed.
I was blessed. Yes.
Getting a visa on your first application, right?
Yes.
You applied the first time and you approved. You got the scholarship. Hey, that's amazing.
Yes.
Now, you came to Florida. Which university?
It was in Daytona Beach, Florida, Bethune-Cookman University, a historical Black college. And I believe, how in the US, like African Americans are the minority. So the school pretty much at that time used to have a lot of scholarships. And so even the school itself used to offer a lot of scholarships to the Black Americans here in the US and even overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and something else with the student visa, which people need to know. There are so many schools here in the US that even do offer scholarships. Those people who are in Kenya, like you're good in sports, athletics, anything you're good of, you can use that to educate yourself. You can get a college, apply, see if they play whatever game you're good in, apply to that college, get to speak to the captain or the head of that whatever department, athletic department, and you'll get scholarship. Like for me, in the school that I went in Daytona, they had also a lot of activities, athletics, runners. Kenya, we have runners. They have like just scholarship, literally budgeted for students who can do that. So you're running for the school, and the school is going to educate you for your 4 years until you graduate. So those opportunities are there. So it's up to Kenya, be aggressive enough and tap into them. And they're not going to ask you what you got in KCSE. You know, it's your skill. What are you good in? Once you bring that in the table in the school, and you offer yourself for the 4 years or whatever to play for the school or whatever activity that you're going to do for the school, the scholarships are there. So those who finished high school, I can say, do your research. You know, you guys spend a lot of time online, just following on celebrities and blah, 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 you know. If you have those bundles and you finished high school, try search for schools, you know, schools that can offer scholarships. And some of them are going to be in the remote places of the USA, you know, because not so many people want to go there. So try, send your application there. I've seen so many people being accepted, and that's also another way of coming as a student.
Yes, and your dream will come true once you just take a step of application and let God play his part.
Oh yes.
You play your part and God play his part, and everything will fall in place. Yes. Now, Lillian, you came with a student visa. What are the requirements? Like the time you are going for the interview, what are the requirements that the embassy or the consular asked you or you must have?
Of course, if you want to claim to come as a student, they want to know an invitation letter. What school are you going to? Have you been accepted to that school? Some paperwork, official paperwork that you've been accepted to that school, university or college. They want to see your I-20. That's literally an official document from the school that they've accepted you to that particular school. So it's a formal document that immigration will want to see. So when you're going to embassy now as a student, you'll have to carry your I-20. And one of the things is, like, once you accept the school for real here in the US, them sending an I-20 is not an issue. You know, it's not like a real big deal. Once they've accepted your paperwork, you've shown proof you finished high school, you want to come, and you know, it's not like sometimes getting yourself in some of the Kenyan institutions. You don't have to bribe anybody. They just have a list well and clear, either online or whoever you're going to call and speak to. They're going to give you their requirements. Once you submit, I-20 will be given. So when you go to the embassy, you want to show your I-20. You want to show your financial status, you know, how you're going to support yourself while in the US. Like in my case, I had a scholarship, the I-20, or I had a letter from the same school saying that they're going to financially support me. They want to know, what are you going to go study there? Have you been studying the same thing in Kenya? You know, like maybe you've finished Kenya, you've finished high school. Let me give an example. And you've been doing hospitality management. And then you want to come to Kenya, US, and tell them you want to do nursing. Things does not make sense, you know? So let's keep the same story. You know, if you've been doing maybe hospitality management, maybe from a diploma in Italy, you can tell them that you want to come here to get your bachelor's and probably your master's on the same thing. So basically, try choose a major that will make sense. And have your I-20, you have to prove your financial, like who's going to cater for your expenses here in the US. And then another thing, they look to see, do you really want to come study? One of the things that I've realized of late, they've been looking, let's say if you've finished your high school and maybe 10, 12 years have lapsed, and then the 13th year, there you go, you're appearing in the embassy that you want to come study, that's going to raise an eyebrow. They're going to ask themselves, all these years you've been doing nothing, how sure are we that you're going to go study? Mm-hmm. So with the study, I normally try and encourage people, once you finish your high school, at least less than 5 years, 2, 3 years, maybe you've been doing something in Kenya, or maybe even like as soon as possible, try and apply and say you're going to come and study. And that's not to discourage. You might be 30s, you might be 40s, you still want to pursue something. Let's say you've been doing a course in Kenya and you want to get a bachelor degree or a master's in whatever you've been doing, they'll still give it to you. All they don't want to see is just a gap. You finished your high school, it's been 15 years, you've not been in any kind of institution, and bam, here you tell them you want to go and study. So those are the small things.
Yes. And now you came. Now they gave you a visa and you came to America. Did you continue with the accounting course or you changed to something else?
I changed my course, but that was somewhere down the line. Okay, in Kenya, I was doing accounting, the CPAs in Kenya. So when I came here, the scholarship was for hospitality management. So which I was like, hospitality management is like hotels, tourists, So my goal at that time was like, if I can be accountant in this hospitality industry. So the scholarship was for hospitality industry at Bethune-Cookman College. It was for 4 years. So when I went to the school, I was able to get my bachelor's degrees within those 4 years. And actually, I was able to do 2 majors in 4 years. So I was getting like full credits. I was taking like maybe 21 credit hours. There's a semester I did 22 credit hours because my scholarship, literally, it was for 4 years. So at the end of the 4 years, they'll stop paying for me. But they did not define how many credits per hour I should do each semester. Meaning, if I wanted to do 3 majors within those 4 years, if I wanted to do 1 major within those 4 years, it was open to me. And me being an African, coming from luck and getting this opportunity, you want to embrace the whole world at the same time. So I was like, because the scholarship was from hospitality management, I definitely had to be my major. So I added accounting because I'd already started in Kenya accounting. So literally in 4 years, I was able to get 2 degrees in accounting and hospitality management. So after I graduated with the 2 degrees, now my scholarship is gone. 4 years is gone. I have my 2 bachelor's degrees in accounting and in hospitality management. At that time, I used to work as a CNA, certified nursing assistant. I loved my job at that time because, number one, I was being paid good money, considering with no college education. And number 2, it was so flexible with my hours. I could go over the weekend. I could pick a night shift. I could go to work anytime. So it was so flexible with the hours. So I really liked that job. So at the end of my 4 years, here I have my degree in accounting. Here I have my degree in hospitality management. I was working as a CNA, and I went and looked for my first job now as an accounting, now with the papers that I had studied. I was in Florida at that time. I went to one of the hotels at the beach, Hilton Hotel at that time. So they offered me the job just at first time. But guess what? What they were offering me was way, way less than what I was making as a CNA.
What do you mean?
Yes.
So did you take the job or you said,
I didn't come back. I just signed the offer letter and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, I didn't come back. I just continued my work as a CNA. And I was like, what can I do now? Instead of just being a CNA now to move up the ladder in this field. Because to me, it was so clear that in the medical field, the pay was way, way better than what I was doing. So after I had graduated with my 2 degrees, I decided now just to enroll to a community college and pursue my nursing. I did an RN in a community college. But at that time, it was faster because most of the prerequisite classes I had done during my bachelor degree. English, speech, maths, those basic classes, I had already done them. So it took like maybe 2 calendar years. I was done with my registered nurse. So that's how I kind of pursued the medical lane. Down the lane, I did my master's. I went and did my nurse practitioner. And here I am.
Wow. So you climbed from CNA, you came to RN, and now you are a nurse practitioner. NP.
NP now. I thank God.
Wow. Now, can you tell us how, if you want to remain as CNA, you would remain as CNA, and that's PA.
Oh, yes.
What is this thing that motivated you to go higher and higher?
A lot of motivation. Number one, the pay. I mean, there's a very big difference with the pay, So I was motivated by the pay. I love money. I mean, so I went to school to get good money. And one thing is just determination. Like what I tell people, like studies here in the US is not hard. In Kenya, we learn the British system, but the American system is totally different. I tell people, I tell everybody, you can have a D+ in Kenya. You can come here in the US, become a doctor. You can become an engineer, any major you can. So studies here, the American system, how they prepare their professional is totally different. So it's just whatever you want to go for, and you're determined, you'll really get it. So I was motivated, and then I liked working as a CNA. I ended up also liking what I was doing, and I just didn't want just to work on a basic entry level of that career. So that kind of just motivated me to climb up. So I did my RN. I worked as an RN for 10 years. I was like, this is now kind of like, I'm kind of like done with it. Same routine, at the hospital, receiving doctor's order. I was like, let me just sacrifice my 2 years, go for my NP. I finished my NP, worked NP for 2 years, and then I went to school to do again a certification in mental health to become also a mental health provider, NP in psych. So I'm finishing this summer, NP in psych.
Wow. Now, you told us you were working when you were still a student. Do students get the papers to allow them to work?
International, yes and no.
Tell us more about it.
International students are normally allowed to work on campus. Yeah, they are normally allowed to work on campus. But if you're like any other student with a work permit, you can work off campus.
And can you work like 40 hours a week, or there is minimum hours that you are allowed to work as a student?
For international students, the last time I checked, it used to be 20 hours on campus. Yeah, it used to be 20 hours on campus. And then at that time too, I used to do hair. Hair makes good money. And as I told you, I was in a Black college, like maybe 80-90% of the students were Blacks. So that gave me good income. Like after class, 4 o'clock class, from 4 maybe to 9, ladies will just line up in my room just to do them, them condos, lines za nyuma. Lines nne kitu kama $30. So it was like, it gave me good pocket money too. Like there's a time during summer, I could have like maybe 4K in my bank account, $4,000 just from here. And now there's no tax because they're just coming. And then I'll put the braids, these are rastas, like I'll do the braids maybe over the weekend. But weekday after class is just the quick cornrows. And I'll do like maybe 4 to 6 heads because I used to be so fast and, So that was a plus. So if those who are coming here as students or or even green card, before you get yourself together, if you can do hair, that's a real good quick income.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, when you are introducing yourself, you told us you are married and you are a mom. How did you go about finding a husband, getting married, getting babies? Not one baby, you told us two babies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about that journey.
I got married. When was that? 2006. So I got married to a Kenyan guy. We met here in the US.
Mhm.
Both of us never knew each other back home, but we just met here in Florida. At that time, I was living in Florida. We got married. We went to Kenya for our wedding since most of our family members were in Kenya. And then we came back. We've been living here. My two girls were all born here. I have two girls. We have two
Wow.
girls together. Yeah.
Wow, wow. So you have American babies.
Oh, yes. You know, it goes.
Wow, wow, wow. That is a blessed family.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the other thing you told us you work with homeless? There is another initiative that you have. Can you tell us more about those things?
Our homeless population in Kentucky, I work with them through the Bright World Ministry. I'm the founder of the Bright World Ministry. Basically, we have a lot of homeless in Kentucky, in the US.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Korapia wa America.
Yeah.
But this is like a different dynamic because most of them here is due to drugs. Most of them here is just due to drugs, and with drugs, they cannot work. You know, that they're so much addicted, they become, I can say, responsible. And again, with the work ethics here, no matter what level, entry level or whatever, once you have like drugs in your system, most of the workplaces, when you go to apply for jobs, they'll do a urine drug test. If there's any drug in your system, you can't get a job.
Sure.
So they end up having no jobs. So they'll have no homes because, you know, they can't pay their bills and they'll end up in the streets. So
Yeah.
this initiative is basically what I do. I just go over the weekend, I feed them. I am a Christian, a believer, a born again believer. So I just read the Bible with them, and then I just feed them and just hang out with them. And it's amazing how, you know, when they get to talk to you, they pretty much just come from a very normal family, like no poverty or, some of them, or a good number of them, is just that behavior, the addiction that is keeping them in the street.
Yeah.
So that's what I do on Saturdays when I get time.
Wow. Wow, that is a moving one. I feel for homeless when I see them when I'm driving around and I meet a homeless person and I'm like, this is not good at all.
Mm.
So because you have that thing in you that you do with them, that is a perfect move.
Thank you.
Yes, I congratulate you for that. Now tell us more about the other one.
The other one is a Facebook page, Wakenya Tuna Sauti. Actually, that's a very new page that I just recently opened. And I opened it recently just, when you read news all the time, Kenya, and then you see there's so much happenings, especially the negative things that do happen, to be made more precise, corruption in the country, and you just feel for the people there. So this page was just for the initiative on the Kenyans just to remain united. And according to our history in the past, I know sometimes Kenyans, they've had this post-election violence. So it's pretty much just for the Kenya to remain together in unity, irrespective of divisiveness from our political leaders.
Yeah.
And also another big thing is just to let Kenyans not be deceived, but just to pick right leaders. Just in a nutshell, just to pick the right leaders. Because at the end of the day, we are the ones who suffer. We are the one with no jobs. They are living very luxurious life. They don't fight each other. The other day, you saw one of them, the daughter wedded, and you saw a lot of faces from all political divides. So it's just to tell Kenyans to live in unity, no killing, no fighting each other. But the best thing that we can do to end our suffering is just by picking the right people in place and stop being tribal.
Yes, yes. And for you have been in America for so long. Why are you so much interested in stuff back home? Sometimes we come to America and we are like, I don't want anything to do or to think about back home. Why that? Why is this that you are so much interested with whatever is going back home? Whatever is going on back home?
I know, I'm interested with whatever is going back home.
Uh-huh.
And number one, my family is there. My family is home, And then number two, having been born and being raised there, I always feel there's always also right now too another little girl who's living in the same place that I was raised.
Yes.
So the conditions that maybe I used to, the environment that I grew up in, I tend to feel like that little girl who's growing up currently, they might not be enjoying the same environment because things are changing and not to the better. Because one of the things that really touches me is just the high loans that, the government is taking, and yet you don't see anything being done with that money. That is directly, our tax money. That's us who gonna pay. It's just like you, like somebody getting loan under your name, Shiko Hopes, a big amount of money. You don't see the money being brought in your house, and then from next month, you're gonna be paying that loan that you did nothing about. So it's just to bring awareness to Kenyans to just be just to be alert with the leaders that we elect. We need to be stop being tribal. We need to stop thinking that, maybe only 5 people can lead the country. I keep on saying there's so many Kenyans, good Kenyans. Look at organizations, industries. We've had very good CEOs. We have very good men and women in the country who can lead the country. So my thing is just to open the Kenyans' mind. Don't just be so focused with the 4, 5 names that are there in the news and social media all the time. Kenya can be new. Kenya can have changes, but it's for people to realize that and know that, anybody else can lead the country, not to be so much egocentric with their thoughts.
Sure. That one shows that you are mwananchi mzalendo.
Oh yes, Chico. Yeah, I try to. Because if you think about it this way, there are so many Kenyans who are voiceless.
Yes.
There are so many Kenyans who are voiceless, not even in the political aspect, but even go in the rural, see young girls being molested, maybe an orphan, a widow who's lost a husband and the in-laws are grabbing their properties. There's so many areas that Kenyans have no voice. They don't know that we have laws in place that can protect them. They're not aware of those laws. They're not aware that, they can be protected, but you cannot benefit from something that you don't know exists. So if somebody tells you that this can be your option, maybe that will open your eyes and you can start embracing your options.
Sure. Now let me take you back to nursing profession.
Mm-hmm.
What advice can you tell someone? Let's talk to a person who comes here as a student and also through green card, because they can join college. This person with green card can join college at any time. What advice can you tell that person? Maybe she or he is like, I would like to do nursing, but I don't know how to go about it. Can you tell us more advantages of nursing?
Okay, for whoever who comes from Kenya or who want to come to Kenya to the US, one thing that you'll have to realize in this country, it's building careers. So whatever you want to do, it can be anything. Just try, get some education on it. Because when you go to the marketplace, to the workplace looking for a job, is the papers that they're going to ask for. So whatever you believe you're good in, try, get some kind of education on it. And that is one. And before I jump into what major really, I can also say a big thing is the influence. When you come from Kenya or whatever country that you'll be coming from, influence, like when you land here, the people you associate yourself with, they will really determine what kind of a person you will be. So if you're gonna be aggressive, a go-getter, you're open to know what's going on, you're open to sacrifice your time for education and for knowledge in general, you can go far. So what I can say is that get what you like to do. And personally, what I did, I had maybe a list of 3 things that I liked to do. And then Mr. Google is there. Just Google them up. Like, how much does this career pay in the US? I Googled all the 3 of them. Number 1, the first thing I listed what I liked. So this is what I liked, the 3 of them. So from the 3, how am I going to pick one from the 3? So I wanted to look what pays good or best from the 3 that I had chosen. So in my case, it was nursing. I like the flexibility of the hours, especially like if you're an RN with your bachelor's as a nurse, you can work in the hospitals, you can work in a nursing home. Nursing home, for those who are in Kenya, these are just long-term living for people. It's like not like hospital because they're not really critical. They are stable, but it's a long-term. They are stable, but again, they're not independent. They cannot be in their homes by themselves. So they are stable, but they need some kind of nursing care. So those are nursing homes. As a RN, you can also work in jail, which I worked for. You can do home health, going to people's home, just maybe when they've been discharged from the hospital, you just follow up. And maybe somebody is going to have an IV medication for like maybe a month. So every day you just go start that IV. If they have dressing to be done on their wounds, you go do wound care. And that's something, those are some of the things that, again, when I used to work as a nurse, they really opened my eyes. And I was like, coming from Kenya, najiuliza, mtu akidischargiwa, nurse anamfuata kwa nyumba, kuendelea kumtibu kwa nyumba. Well, now, in Kenya, there's going to be MPs and those big people, not just an average somebody who nobody knows about their name. But here, the system is just so nice, irrespective of whoever you are. You have an insurance. You don't have to bribe anybody. You don't have even to call and beg anybody to do it. When you get discharged, we'll follow you up to your homes. If you have maybe things that you're not so stable enough, like maybe IV medication, some injections, dressing change, we'll do it. We'll do it in your home. You're not paying anything from your pocket. That's just from the insurance. So the kind of medical care also really opened my eyes, especially when I'm comparing back home. Things that we take for granted, kama ER. When you're feeling sick, emergency, and then you're rushing to the hospital, you see, you don't have any money, but they're going to treat you. If they need admission, you'll be admitted. If you're having a heart attack and you need an open heart surgery, bila tandururu kwa mfuko, they'll take you to the theater, they'll do everything for you to make sure you don't die. So just that kind of system, those are the things sometimes, Shiko, when you ask me why I have passions for Kenya, I ask myself, if at all we are all human beings, Americans are human beings, they bleed like Kenyans, they can cry like us, they eat, they do everything like Kenyans. Why can't we have it back home? Why can't we have it back home? And the answer goes around too because of the corrupt leaders. If we have everything straight, Ministry of Health, everybody straight from up there to down there, we'll have better things. So back to your question, you're asking about
the advantages. Advantages of nursing, of doing nursing.
So diversity, you can diversify to many things. You can work in the hospital, nursing home, jail, flexibility in the hours, because think about it, the hospital works 24/7. So you can work night shift, weekends, you can work 3 days a week, 5 days a week. It's so flexible. And I also say this especially to single parents. If you're going to be coming here, maybe you're a single parent with kids, you'll also want to get a career that is flexible. Like you can flex your hours. So it's flexible, it pays better, and it has different avenues that you can work for. So
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
Yes, yes. Nothing is the best for most of people. For most of us, nothing is the real deal. But there's some other opportunities that you can just come and thrive in. There are so many opportunities here. And we thank you so much, Lillian, for coming.
Thank you,
Now,
Shiko.
give us advice. Someone who has been in Kenya or somewhere in Africa and she has lost hope of coming to America. Give that person one word for hope.
So to those who are in Kenya and they have hope or they've lost hope.
They have lost hope. And give me 1 second, please. 1 second. I'll be back. I'm back. My whatever it was running out of charge. Yeah, we can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that person has lost hope. Talk to him or her.
Okay, so to those who have lost hope, they're in Kenya. I'll start with this category of people that still maybe have a little bit of hope. You can still play your green cards. These are every year. You can still play it. And I think you just need to have maybe finished high school. It doesn't have much requirements. So there's still hope there. And to those who are in Kenya, they've lost hope. This is not the end of it. This is not the end of it. As I said again, for those who are like students, whatever the age, if you're taking any course and you want to continue it, you can come as a student. But if the 2 ways are failed, maybe the green card and the student, mine is just to tell you, please don't lose hope. As long as you're alive, don't lose hope. Things can change, and just have that positive thought. Think to yourself what you can do. I know right now, because of the pandemic, is because of finances, there's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of lack. Many people, they've lost their jobs, retrenchment, and those who are working, I've heard also some people, their salaries have been deducted. So mine is just to tell Kenyans, hang in there, don't lose hope. And whatever is in your mind, whatever you think that you can do, whatever small thing that you can do to generate income, go for it. Go for it. Just go for it. Be hopeful and believe in God. Believe in God, be hopeful, and just go for that small thing that you think you can do. You'll be surprised how it can, how it can yield more.
Sure. So in short, you can tell them inawezekana.
Inawezekana. It's true.
Yeah, that is what we tell from Shiko Hope TV. We tell them never give up, never lose hope. Inawezekana.
Inawezekana.
Yeah, because inawezekana is simply it is possible. It is possible and it can be possible. And we thank you so much, Lillian, for coming. We appreciate your time, your good advice. Your journey is an experience is amazing. And before we go, can you tell us briefly about being a parent in America? Any difference between here and being a parent back home, comparing on how we were brought up and how we are bringing up our kids here? Briefly?
Being a parent in the US is different than being a parent in Kenya. And I tend to think because in Kenya, being a parent in Kenya, remember you as a parent, you're raised in the same condition, the same environment that you're raising your kids. Versus being a parent here, you, the parent, you're born and raised in a different environment, different rules, different conditions. And now your kids are also in a different conditions. They're raised, they're they're being raised in a different culture. So sometimes trying to blend what you've been raised and what is being here in this country, sometimes it can be different, and sometimes it can also be frustrating, They want things that maybe you still think your Kenyan way, you want to raise them maybe how you were raised up. That's how you want to raise them. But one thing I know that I've realized is like just try to understand them. And this, I think, it just goes to parents all over, even in Kenya, even here. Try to understand your kids. Try to sit with them. Try to understand them. By listening to them and understanding them does not mean that you don't have to be firm as a parent. At the end of the day, you're the parent. You need to be firm. You need to speak in a firm manner. But showing them love and listening to them will go a long way, because this is where you can tend to pick any little things that goes along in their lives. If maybe your kids are being molested or any kind of thing that is happening to your kids, is through you. I mean, when you're their friends, when you're listening to them, that's how you get to know. So let not your kids be your strangers. Listen to them and talk to them, be their friend, at the same time be firm. And there are many different things here. Here they want like a sleepover, but I always say, as a parent, you want to be sure about where they're going to sleep over. You want to be sure of that family, not only the parents and the nuclear family. Sometimes even people come and visit, because I might know like, oh, my kid is going to XY for a sleepover. I know Mr. X, I know Mrs. X, I know they have maybe 3 kids, but I don't know, maybe an uncle might be coming to visit that family the same weekend my daughter is going to sleep over. Yeah. So you need to be very, very careful with things like sleepover. And kids here, again, they're so expressive. They'll talk, and that's how they're taught in school, actually. They will talk, not like maybe to be rude, but they express themselves. We were raised like suppressing ourselves, and sometimes when you talk so much in front of the elders, they could maybe they could label you as kichwa ngumu, ama being rude. But the kids here, that's how they're raised. They have to talk. They express their feelings. They don't feel good. What you say, if it doesn't sound good to them, and they express even this to their teachers. So that was one of my culture shocks here. But again, as they express themselves, you just want to teach them to do so respectfully, not to suppress their feelings, but just to do so respectfully. And of course, other things like food differences and, all the 9 yards.
Yeah, it is not like what we used to back home. This is a different state, different environment. Everything is different. So, and we love it. If we don't love it, maybe you could be back home a long time ago.
Yes.
It is a good place to be.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell us where we can reach you, or how we can get you?
Okay, getting me anytime you guys want me back. Actually, subscribe to Shiko Hope's channel. Subscribe here, Shiko Hope's channel. Send your comments if you want to see me back again. Invite, share. Send your comment to Shiko Hope's. That's the number 1 way to reach me.
Sure.
And then 2 other ways is Wakenya Tunawezekana. It's a Facebook page. You can send me a message there. And then the Bright World Ministry, I'm still with my accountant and my team, still officializing. The page is there, the Facebook page is there, Bright World Ministry. But the other channel, we are still trying to streamline it.
Okay, so we can reach you in any way. Wakenya Tuna Sauti, they can comment below. And maybe they want you to come back, which I know obviously they would like to hear more from you. They can reach you in any way. Thank you so much for coming, Lillian. We are so happy. We're so blessed to have you. Thank you for sharing with us about your amazing journey. And we will be doing this. We will be doing this again another time soon.
Yes.
So thank you so much. We appreciate you. the last words. Tell them inawezekana and never lose hope. Just tell them inawezekana.
So inawezekana, on this channel, we don't give up. You've heard from all of us, inawezekana, don't give up, don't lose hope. It's all possible.
Yes, guys, and that marks the end of this video. We're so happy, and until next time, guys, bye bye.